In a bustling city filled with towering skyscrapers and endless noise, there lived a young woman named Maya. She worked long hours at a small marketing firm, often feeling like just another cog in the machine. But deep inside, Maya carried a quiet ambition to run a marathon. It wasn't something she had ever imagined herself doing. After all, she could barely jog around the block without gasping for air. Yet one evening, as she scrolled through social media during yet another late-night work session, she stumbled upon a post about an upcoming marathon in 6 months. Something about it struck a chord within her. Maybe it was the photos of runners crossing the finish line, their faces glowing with triumph. Or maybe it was the simple idea that anyone could train for this if they put their mind to it. Whatever it was, Maya decided then and there she would do it. The next morning, Maya laced up an old pair of sneakers and stepped outside before sunrise. The streets were eerily quiet, the air crisp and cool. She started jogging slowly, awkwardly, painfully, but she kept moving forward. After only 5 minutes, her legs burned, her lungs screamed, and doubt crept into her mind. What am I even doing? This is ridiculous. But instead of giving up, Maya made a deal with herself. Just one more step, and then another, and another. By the end of that first week, she could run for 10 minutes straight. A month later, she was running 3 miles without stopping. Progress was slow, but it was steady. As the weeks went on, challenges piled up. Some mornings the alarm clock felt unbearable. Other times, rain poured down relentlessly, soaking her clothes and making every step heavier. There were moments when injuries flared up, a sore knee here, a strained calf there, and days when self-doubt whispered loudly in her ear, "You'll never make it. You're not cut out for this." Each time, Maya reminded herself of the promise she'd made not to others, but to herself. She didn't have to be perfect. She didn't have to be fast. She just had to keep going, one step at a time. Finally, the day of the marathon arrived. Thousands of runners gathered at the starting line, their excitement buzzing like electricity in the air. Maya stood among them, her heart pounding not just from nerves, but from pride. She thought back to those early mornings, the blisters, the setbacks, and the countless times she'd wanted to quit. Now, standing there, she realized how far she'd come. Not just physically, but mentally. When the race began, Maya focused on her rhythm, her breathing, and the steady beat of her feet against the pavement. Mile after mile, she pushed through fatigue, drawing strength from the cheering crowds and the memory of her own perseverance. As she approached the final stretch, exhaustion threatened to overwhelm her. Her legs felt like lead, her body begged her to stop, but she remembered her mantra, one more step. With tears streaming down her face, Maya crossed the finish line. She hadn't won the race, nor had she set any records. But none of that mattered. In that moment, she knew she had achieved something far greater than a medal. She had proven to herself that she was capable of more than she'd ever imagined. Later that night, as Maya sat alone reflecting on the day, she realized something profound. The hardest part of any journey isn't the destination. It's deciding to take the first step. And once you do, no matter how difficult the road becomes, you'll find that the strength to keep going has been inside you all along.